We've had a couple of days now where it's gone off. It's pretty rock solid. What we're going to do now is we're going to apply the final coat. Before we do that, we're going to measure up and we're going to use this mesh. The mesh goes from here and it bridges the gap and comes across to here. It just provides strength for the top coat to stop it cracking. So we're going to have a quick measure up and we're going to cut some strips. 110, 80. So let's take it a little bit longer. 120 by 90 and 10 wide basically. So this is the final coat. You just mix it directly with water. So we're going to crack on and get that prepped. Okay, so now we're just going to start blobbing this final coat around, get this stuff in place, and then skim over the top, working our way around, and then leave it a little bit to go off, and then come back in with a sponge. So as you can see, we've pretty much finished the second coat now. There's quite a lot on, so it's just a matter now of smoothing it over and removing the excess and going for a nice finish. We've been using this tool, the float, and the trowel, just to try and get a nice edge. We're not going to do the inside of this until this has gone off, just so we don't destroy this nice edge we've created. We'll obviously address it a little bit more as we go along. As it starts to go off, it'll be easier to work. So for now, we're just going to crack on and get on with the finish. Okie dokie, we've got that to the stage now where it's kind of smoothish. We're going to leave it for a little bit to go off, then we're going to come back do a bit more floating. It's been about half an hour, so we're just going to come back in with a bit of water and just work on the finish. So again, we're going to wait for it to go off, and then we're going to come back in with a sponge. Okay, so it's had a while now. It's starting to go hard around the corners. So we're going to come in with a bit of sponge action, just to get it all smooth and get rid of any bumps and lumps. I always start at the top and work down because the drops from this bit fall. So if you do this first, you end up having to redo it when all this stuff drops down. So we'll start at the top, either side, and work down like that. So I've got like a fine sponge for finishing, and this one which is battered, but it deals with the rough stuff. And then this one, I'm going to keep it nice for finishing. I should really buy a proper builder's sponge, but it's Sunday afternoon and I'm not going to find one. So again, we're going to let that go off, maybe half an hour or so, and then we're going to come back in with the nicest sponge and give it its final finish. Okay, so while we're waiting for that last coat to go off, we've got a little bit of leftover of the top coat there that we're just going to fill in all these gaps from the metal bars that we cut out earlier on. Okay, we're just going to repeat that. We'll just repeat that on them all. Okay, so again, this has had a while now. So we're going to go in lightly damp, nice and clean, new sponge, and we're just going to smooth out this finish. Okay, so that's pretty much us wrapped with this now. We'll come back and see how she looks in the morning. We'll just finish off outside and then we're done. Just before we pop outside, I just thought I'd show you this. This is what comes off on the final coat. You see speckles, really, really, really fine amount you remove, which leads to such a nice finish. Sorted. Okay, so here we are again. This has now gone off. It's looking pretty good. We're going to crack on and finish the rest of it off now. Right, so we've managed to get all 4 sides done now. It's been going off in the sunshine for about half an hour, so it's pretty tough. Because there's much less depth and it's much flatter, we're just going to go straight in with the sponge to finish it off. Because I don't think we need to do too much floating, it's already pretty flat. So we'll just sponge it off and get a good finish. It's been a good while now, so we're going to go back in with a nice sponge and give it its final finish. Okay, that's it, we're all done. Yes.